on here.
Buddy joined your
Seems...
channel.
That's a nice stream you've got going. I've been sat there waiting for 20 minutes.
I see that.
It's a cool stream, Dookie.
How did you know I was about to stream?
Fish has been spamming it in chat.
Oh, right.
There's a reason this channel's got NWBC.
Yeah, I know.
Buddy left your channel.
Oh, it's on a advertisement.
Yeah,
Ah!
doing
Oh wait, if the advert is just popping on, that might mean that it's about to...
Lock the
Yeah.
channel with 75 joint power.
Oh, it's done.
Is it going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! Juki is love, Juki is life.
They're back.
Buddy in your channel timed out.
Oh, perfect time for Fish to just go.
I have to mute it.
Yeah. Oh god, at least it's working.
Gotta get
Behind,
high.
of course, I'm
Jesus
rendering it
Christ.
because of amazing internet. But
Ah, it finally fucking works. Oh, so we should do some sort of intro. Where is
Buddy
Fish?
entered your channel.
Oh, he's back. Perfect.
Right there. Sorry, I had to kick my little sister off the internet.
Fish, the stream's working now.
Good, good. Alright, let's get this shot on the road. I'm looking in now. Alright, just sort of type in out the chat that they need to get everyone on now or never. We'll fight with what they've got.
I'll let you start it.
who's doing? I'd want to do 2.
I'll do it.
Alright.
So do you want this like casted or just watch it and just watch what happens?
Your choice.
I'm not fussed. You can do commentaries if we want.
You could do that sport commentary where they get really excited.
Yeah, that's what I do with
Yeah, you guys can do that. I'm not very good commentator.
Kill, etc.
They talk really quickly.
Well, that's what I have to do for League of Legends when I cast that.
You should be an expert at this then.
Yeah, but this is a much slower game.
That's true.
We can try. You guys can add in anything you want.
What's wrong with your graphics settings as well?
What the shading?
Yeah, what's
I've
wrong
no
with-
idea. Ever since I got my new graphics card, it's what it's done, and it hasn't bothered me enough for me to bother changing it.
That is really weird shading.
Yeah,
You've got random.
I kind of forget that not everyone
Okay.
has that. So we're here today with the Triangle Coalition against the VE Corps. VE Corps comprising of the 3 ERC, the 2E, the Etoile, the other regiments, and the Triangle Coalition with the 47th, the 3PP, the Miquelettes, and the 65Y. This is going to be an exciting match, I think. Fish, how are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling pretty good. They're one of the lesser in the NWBC, but I don't think that's gonna change the concept of the battle. It's gonna be good.
And of course, this is of course the first battle of the NWBC, which is a line battle with every single different. I've just been whispered by Geek. That's gonna be really annoying. It's comprising all of the different types of infantry and units in the game, and it's a competitive tournament. And this is the first battle that we're seeing for it. Connor, are you excited for this?
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to see who comes out on top.
What coalition or army do you think has the best chance of winning?
I think the 4 banners, probably.
The 4
That's
banners.
my high bets, the
Who's
four
in the 4
banners.
banners?
Spartans 15th, 1st Hussars, and I forgot the other regiment.
Dear God, that sounds terrifying already. So we're starting a bit late because daylight savings time is a bitch. But both teams having roughly 70 people. I'm going to actually turn things
It's
down.
not meant to be 70 on 70, it's meant to be 80 on 80, so any hiccups but probably down to that.
Again, this is the first time that this event is being hosted, so bear with us, and we will try and bring you some top quality Napoleonic Wars action.
Well, hopefully.
At the very least, mediocre quality. It'll be watchable. I think that's what matters.
From random stuttering I'm currently getting.
So your commentary team for tonight comprises myself, Dukey. We also have Fish, Jack, Connor, and Etherton as a special guest.
Thank you for having me. I feel honoured.
Celebrity guest.
For some
I'm the
expert
only one not
insight.
from the BA.
Really looking forward to this. Actually, I've been looking forward to this competition getting going for a while.
What does the Triangular Coalition consist of?
I'll let Fish.
It's the
Got 65Y, Miquelette, and 47 for 3PP. Now for the fun part, I have to go and check every unit. It was slain one rifleman. Shit.
Is this now live or
Didn't mean to spawn in. Yes, this is live.
have you put live in the
Alright.
chat?
Awesome.
There, now he has. Alright, so we can see the French cavalry is moving out quite aggressively.
Count them. Count the French cavalry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I
7,
have
8, 9,
11
10.
bits with
11.
numbers.
Alright,
They have a
as long as
general
it's
as
not
well.
12.
See the French artillery getting straight on top of that huge hill there.
They have 9 lights as well.
Alright, everyone's within numbers, meaning that we've got a good amount of line playing.
For anyone who's wondering why you're hearing weird noises, I have a special sound pack on. Which I
Velociraptor's playing as general. Ooh.
pro strats there. See here the
Yeah,
riflemen.
these French cabs at max.
There's not going to be a map change on this, so this map is what we're in with. See what we've got here in terms of map analysis.
Well, it seems like the French have by far the highest point on the map already set up for an artillery position.
Yeah, but it's pretty covered on its left side, and that's going to be important. If the lines are like that, they could get the artillery gone easily, very quickly.
And the British infantry, I would say, have already cottoned on to that and are moving in that general direction.
Yeah. So are the French, though.
I think that's going to be where we're seeing most of the fighting from today.
Oh,
Are we about to
65Y
see our
already
first?
hopping on that.
We can
It's
see
nice to see
65Y
which
moving up
team
the hill.
gets the first kill of the whole tournament.
Yep.
Well, we've already had our first death, and that goes to VE3ERC Qui Fegelin. I think he had a heart attack and
User
is now
joined your
dead.
channel.
Oh, is it me or the 65Y in artillery range? Oh, no. That's a big line, though, I've got
That
to
is
say.
a bloody big line.
Oh, no, it's 2 lines, 3
User
PP.
left your
Yeah,
channel.
3 PP and 65Y.
That makes more sense.
to look at. But still
I
big
think
lines,
very
though.
much that artillery's going to play a huge part in how this event goes. I
Oh,
think that's
oh,
going to be the turning point due to the size of the lines and the lack of them.
yeah.
Yes.
Going to play a huge part in certainly
lines,
a
big
large amount of
lines.
kills.
I think what I'm looking forward to
Oh,
most about
so
this
dream.
is the coordinated movements. Whereas in regular line battles you have... Oh, there's the first kill! 47 Senpai Wolven Spirit takes the first kill of the NWBC. And it goes on to recruit Thorvik from the 16EJG. Fish congratulating there. I think Wolven Spirit is actually in the 26th North Carolina as well. On North and South. Looks like the lines are engaging now. The riflemen are skirmishing against the line that is sat perfectly for them. But they've all
Oh,
missed.
French cavalry looks like it's making a feint, or is it a feint?
The British cavalry is having to fall back to cover.
Playing heavy troops, not something you see often.
No, do you think that was a tactical choice because they're able to manoeuvre properly with their other units, or is that just something that's personal preference to them? I don't know the regiment very
I
well.
don't know. Generally, if you go heavy cavalry, you go horse guards, or at least I do.
Maybe the extra muskets are what they're after.
I don't get muskets.
Oh,
Heavy
the dragoons?
don't.
Oh.
Nah, it's like dragons.
Oh, volleys on the right there. Oh, look at that blob up.
Certainly a lot of fire coming for the Brits in a minute.
What we
Look at
have
that blob up on the right
at
of
the
French.
moment is the infantry from the British on either flank with the riflemen down the centre. That's quite nice. They're getting some good hits there. But the French look like they're withdrawing, or are they're readjusting, never mind.
Oh, riflemen are coming up from the British now on that right. Not using riflemen as I would, but they're using them.
An artillery strike right into the middle of the 3PP line.
Currently seeing the British cavalry also moving up to support the rest of the lines, which could play quite a large part if the French cav don't pull across quickly.
It does look like the
Oh,
French
they're
cav
crossing now.
are coming over to the British cavalry.
V are a lot more coordinated. You can see it in their movement, but because of how the Triangle Coalition are moving, they're moving in a very big like monolith, and that's working well
The
for them.
French infantry looks like it's about to make a charge, or at least make a line. They're running straight in towards the British infantry. I'm going to leave the cavalry
British
Joined
for
your
now.
channel.
A volley coming in from the British infantry here. No, they're going to adjust instead.
User was moved out of
The
your
other
channel.
French line is moving in on the right hand side for them as well.
Your channel was edited.
My channel was edited.
I was just about to do that.
Sorry, I had a password on it.
Volley after volley here.
Quite a lack in kills, I have to say.
Yeah.
For such close range.
The 6-5Y have recognised that they're in a terrible position. They've been completely flanked there. They're falling back. 3PP trying to cover them. Unfortunately, muskets aren't that great for hasty covering.
Yeah.
If there is anything else going on the rest of the battlefield, please tell me so I move over. Oh, brilliant shot there by Wolven Spirit.
Buddy in your channel timed out.
Buddy in my channel timed out.
Fish is gone.
Oh, that was Fish. That's a bad time for Fish to break. No matter, the show must go on.
Oh, another perfect cannibal hit by Wolf and Spirit.
Brilliant.
Who's going to be covering the UK now?
If you give me the password, I can cover for them.
Because I'm watching France in a minute.
I'm watching the
Buddy
UK, don't worry
entered
about
your
it.
channel.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, Fish is
flying
back.
over
Fish is
everywhere.
back.
Brilliant. This is an interesting artillery fortification for the French here. Do you think the I've totally forgotten their name. The blocks on top of the on top of the dirt mounds.
Oh,
Is that
the,
what are they called?
Gabion.
Gave on this one. Do they block
They're
cannonballs?
very clustered up.
I
Yeah,
think
they do.
it's a ploy to defend their cannon, their rankers whilst they're reloading
I
their guns.
suppose. Yeah, that's quite smart actually. I've never considered
But it
that.
seems that the French have lost the majority of their line at the minute as well. They're down to 2 like, small lines compared to the Brits.
Yeah.
Still,
That engagement with the
still
rifles,
fairly close though.
it's really hurt them.
French, but they are being very offensive on their right side with those voltigeurs. They're right up into the artillery now, with cavalry support as well.
I think what's actually important to mention as well is that the British have an entire line in reserve that haven't even engaged yet.
Yeah. What is
Although-
that line? Isn't it Michaelats?
It's the 47th.
No, it's 47.
Currently, the French light and cav successfully managed to get in behind the British artillery, so we could see some exchanging of fire there from the flank.
Okay. Oh, brilliant shot there by Wolven Spirit. He's on fire at the moment, 7-0. See cannonballs flying
Hey,
through our
Fish.
vision.
Who
Fish.
do we think? Yeah.
Can you steam me the hustle to the event, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is really make or break for the French artillery here. If they can get a
yeah,
couple of
sure.
good cannon shots
I
down
would say it. But
on the English lines,
Exactly. Steam me.
I think the only downside to the French fortification is that they've really narrowed their field of view to quite a minor.
yeah. I mean, you
position.
saw there the cannon actually
If the
went into their own
British
defences.
are able to successfully get around one of the flanks, the artillery is not going to be able to do anything to defend them.
We're going to see the first charge of the NWBC here. Solo's going down. The French outnumber the British almost 2-1. Are they going to be able to get anything from this? The British, no. They're going down one at a time. They're not fighting
The
at
team is
all.
known here is quite a strong melee edge, certainly in how they play, so it should be quite comfortable.
They're not even
Finish for them.
bothering to chase here. Are they going to get a consolation kill for the British here? It looks like they may. Reinforcements coming in. We have Houston and Wolfrine. Houston takes down the Polish person and Pelek here. Pelek here deciding to 2v1 the two men that have stayed behind to fight him off. I want to go and see what the 65Y are doing, but at the same time this fight is too intense. Houston goes down to Pelek. Is he going to be able to get the last person here? The rifles are also moving into position on the right hand side of the French artillery. Buddy in my channel timed out.
Fish is gone again.
Colonel Wellington has just gone down. And we've seen the French here are completely surrounded on every side. The British just hammering away at the defences.
Oh, here you go. Both teams' cavalry are now fighting. There's quite a large cav fight going on near the British artillery.
I want to watch the French artillery, but I want to watch the cavalry.
I'll keep the artillery clear. The artillery are pretty much holding their
The
ground
French
pretty
fighters
well.
are also pushing up to attempt to take the British artillery, so we could see a trading of arty kills at the minute.
We see here
The artillery is pretty much broken.
But the French have got the upper hand in that cavalry.
The French cav have certainly come up top there. But have lost a lot of horses in the process.
Ooh, swinging a miss there.
It's interesting when you think about it. There's no actual defined. Well, there aren't many from my assumption. Defined like tactical maneuvers for anything bigger than like multiple lines in NW.
No.
In a game like this, you would have thought there would be like column and like large columns and things like that, but obviously not.
I think because people don't get the opportunity to use that in battles,
Yeah.
they're not practiced at it. So when it comes to something like this where they want to win, they're just going to stick with what they know. I don't know if any regiment or army is going to have trained
Seabat
enough.
Carry.
The 47th are doing superbly here to defend their artillery at the minute.
Seabat's carry.
Seabad is now
Seabat's
4-0.
The cavalry
Looks
looks
like-
like very brave to go straight in for it.
Yeah, one wrong move and they're
Just
caught in the
separate.
defences. But it looks like the British artillery is down. The French are down to 10 men on their
19 to
side. The
10
UK
people.
down to 19. Juki and Fish
They
on the
could
same
still
page.
clutch it, though. They could still clutch it.
Yeah, you've got to think a lot of those Frenchmen are mounted currently.
Cavalry. But if the artillery does its part and dismounts enough of them, they will have to dismount all of them.
What's the
The
limit?
artillery's
Win it.
down. Artillery's
3 or
down
less.
completely.
Right, so there is no more British artillery. What have the Brits done at the French artillery? We're down to, is that one line and one group of rifles?
Yep.
Those rifles will prove very important in the final battle.
But so will their cavalry.
I mean, what would you do in this?
think-
What would you do in this situation?
Dig in, I guess, and have cavalry. I don't know.
I just don't know.
also this is an issue for an admin perspective as well, because now what am I supposed to do with those last two
Yeah.
that are dismounted? I guess I'm going to have to tell them to stick by the arty.
Or they could just move with the line infantry, couldn't they?
There is no French line infantry.
Yes, there's two guys.
The last two
Is that
French
what
are
I'm
both
saying?
light infantry.
What am I supposed to do with them?
Ooh, that is a good question. I don't think they know what they should do with themselves. It looks like they're just staying there, staying safe.
Well, I think certainly the French cav only chance they're going to be able to do is to try and single out the British rifles to try and get a good kill on them, so there's not really much they can do at the moment.
The issue is, as far as I can see, that you're not going to be able to get the cavalry close to the rifles without incurring the wrath of the line
Yeah.
infantry as well. If
And
it's going to take a feint, they're going to have to draw the line infantry out of position and then make a glory charge towards the rifles, I suppose.
if the cavalry's they can take on the line as well, because the line itself isn't that big. But
well,
the
I
cavalry
think-
can.
The British are certainly going to be happy to not push aggressively at the minute.
Well, they're going to have to to 40 minutes.
What
All charges
for the viewers? What are the rules regarding how many maps, how many rounds?
It's first to 3 single map,
First to 3 or best of 3?
best of.
Okay. So, who would you say is going to... I can't see any way that the British are going to throw this map. I don't think that there is the presence, as it were, on the French team to actually make a dent in the British lines. Especially if the British can just sit there and camp and play merry hell with the French.
I think as long as the British rifles stick with the line, there shouldn't be any trouble regarding the cavalry really, unless they can get quite a strong flanking first charge.
Oh yeah. Well, the cavalry have all dismounted at this point. They've all picked up muskets, which is probably the best that they could hope for, really. Just try and get some shots off.
You know, this is exactly why I disallowed dragoons, so cavalry wouldn't dismount like this. Because now, what am I supposed to classify them as? And whoever that is riding off in the distance has to dismount.
What is he doing? Oh, is he grabbing that British flag? Nope. I did not want to go for the swag points. Or are they just rounding up horses?
Just looks like a standoff at the moment.
Yeah, it's going to come down to 1 or 2 lucky shots, isn't it?
Those rifles need to get, you know, like you said, lucky shots in order to improve their advantages of probably the final charge if they do that.
Yeah.
Back in a minute, guys.
Are there any rules in place for all charges, Fish?
No shooting, classes are check. No shooting for all, give everyone a fair chance. Otherwise,
That's
rifles, especially in this situation, just dominate.
Yeah. Well, that puts the pressure on, I would say, on the French.
I
Oh.
say that. Oh, that's a cock up.
What happened?
They've just killed all 4 of their horses.
Oh. Okay.
If
That's
the
an
no
interesting
charge was
move.
called, if the no
Would've
charge
been a
was
lot more
just about to be
beneficial.
called, they could have actually mounted up and used
Yeah.
them, but obviously not.
It looks like the British are going to try and make a move on the right-hand side. The French could potentially take 2 or 3 of them out before they hit the lines, but it's going to be one hell of an epic melee. 65 wide, known for being
Those
decent at
rifles are
melee.
not going to have much luck in melee if they don't pick up some bayonets.
Do you reckon that's what they're going to try and do? Or are they going
There's
to
not
try
many
and form up?
bayonets around unless they try and get to some of the bayonets around the cannons.
And they're flanking out. This is it. This is the final charge. 8 versus 15. The British firing with their rifles as they move in. The French desperately trying to grab some cover.
It's all going to come down to a melee.
Oh,
And here we go.
oh, slay him.
They're... Okay.
You see over here, the French have actually cornered a couple of Britishmen. That's exactly what they need to do. They need to capture them. Well, not capture them. They need to surround them, take them out in small groups at a time. But it looks like it's just too many. Although it is 4 on 7. No, it's 6 on 2.
Clutch, clutch, clutch.
Can he clutch? Will this be the most epic clutch ever by Burr? No, it will not.
No.
That was unfortunate for them, but that is the first round of the NWBC completed, and it is a victory to the Triangle Coalition.
Close though. That was a very close match.
It was a
That
lot
was
closer than
excessively
it should have.
close. I think that there's either going to be second round is either going to be just as close, or there's going to be start opening up a rift between one of them. Now they've tested each other, they know how they fight.
I mean, who would you
Oh,
say was stronger
let's-
in regards to the cavalry? Because I think the cavalry has the opportunity to
Cavalry,
make
I think
the
the
difference.
French dominated in the cavalry.
Alright, where are the British rifles? I need to quickly count them.
For anyone who has been typing in the chat, I have not seen it. I have just turned on my chat, so if you want to say hi, say hi. I will respond to every single
Why is
comment.
there a rifles officer leading the British? Like, you know, I'm going to leave that. Two.
He was doing it earlier as well. I don't think it makes that much of a difference.
14 cav on the French team.
Is there?
Yep.
Are they actually playing as a team cav?
Or have they just got like
One
you know,
man
scout
still, 12
cav?
cuirassiers. And, oh, they changed back
Did
now.
the Miquelets go heavy cavalry
they haven't.
last game?
The last round, yeah, they did.
11 actively playing.
And a 12th on a general. Alright, the French are moving at him while actually looks to be a really nice column. You see this large snake moving along. It's actually like 3 lines with voltages. It's weird actually from where I'm standing. It looks really nice.
Are we going to see another brilliant cannon
looks
shot
like
here?
Looks like they're putting all their forces to the left side.
Now that was unfortunate. That cannon shot landed right in the middle of a line.
Yeah.
That could have been very hurting
Man
for the
like in
French.
the middle of 2 lines.
Yeah.
This is pretty funny. The artillery on both sides are basically just ruling the entire middle section of the map, off limits to the lines.
Yeah.
It's all about map control, and they've completely zoned that entire region, and they're forcing the fight into the area that we saw last round. That little region on the right for the British.
And the Triangle Coalition know they can get there first and are using that to their advantage. I'm not saying that the map isn't actually biased to them because, yeah.
I think they can
The
get there
French have
first, but
their
the
own
French,
hills.
yeah, the French have a better position to attack
own
it.
Well, it's not only that. Look at the entire right side of the map. There's bigger hills on that side. If
Yeah.
the French wanted to use them, they could. The map isn't. It's
Oh, good shot there by
varied,
Red
but
Fox.
not biased.
And the problem is that British line got there before everyone else, whereas the French have travelled in a huge group. So the British are going to have to fall back and wait for backup.
Oh, look at those cheeky French with far right.
That's going to.
And ooh,
They decided against it.
they should have pushed with the rest of us all down there. Could have broken, but
What are the
have
rifles doing? The British
committed anything
rifles.
left?
The British rifles were taking pot shots at the Cav the last time I saw.
I can't wait for our first match is going to be as the British Army. We're going against the 16E, and if they can find their other regiment, if not the 59th Coalition,
Oh shit.
either one of them are going to be interesting matches. Because the British Army, we have those tactics that I mentioned earlier. Sharp and I have sat down and spoke about it. But we aren't exactly competitive and skilled in that sense.
Yeah.
That will definitely be interesting.
The French officer there taking a pot shot with his pistol at a British line. Missed.
French cavalry on the left again.
There's something very pretty about seeing nice orderly lines, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. A bit calming.
It's oddly
almost.
satisfying, isn't it?
It's almost soothing.
Well, I mean, think about it. We have 140 people on this server. In what other game can you get 140 people into a server and have them make pretty little lines? You
That's
just
a fair
can't.
point.
It's unheard of.
But, you know, on what game would you want to sit in a long line?
I
Easy
think
shots.
armor with line tactics would be quite fun.
Well, there was a
For
mod
whoever
for
has
it
an
quite a
What?
while ago, but unfortunately it died,
Ah,
and it hasn't been picked up. I'd love to see that though, because Armour has the engine to make musket warfare really fun.
Oh, you want like a
GG.
modded Armour 3?
yeah.
There is a
Like
modded Armour
muskets.
3 that has muskets in it.
That sounds
I was gonna
amazing.
say-
I need that.
I will
I-
find you the video after this match.
I need that in my
I was going to
life.
say, if you just stand in a long line with a machine gun, you must be really easy to take out another line.
The French here using
Oh,
legit
I've
French
got to say,
tactics.
the
They're
French
moving up
are
as
all
columns.
over the English in a minute.
The cavalry has just made the
The
difference
French
there.
are going straight for it.
The word Blitzkrieg's thrown around a lot these days. French are really using it, but there's some. Oh, look at that line emerge from right on those French voltigeurs. That could be crippling.
Is that the Englishman?
I
Oh,
think
the
at
English
the
have gone
minute
down.
this is the French's to lose.
Well, the worst thing right now
There's a-
is that
All
they're
over
starting
them.
to get into British artillery range. They've taken the hill, but they are now exposed to the British cannons.
That was a good shot from the 65.
That was a brilliant.
And the British cannons are good, I have to say.
Are we going to see the French victory on the right-hand side, or the British? They've forced them off the hill. Can the British regain some pride here? Yes, they can. They've managed to hold off the French charge.
Have they committed their reserve line yet? Oh, they're committing it now, actually.
Oh, brilliant cannon shot right into the middle of the line. Don't give Woven Spirit any opportunity to shoot at your line directly, because he will take it.
The French seem to be proving themselves very good in melee.
There's still 3 rogue British cavalrymen just running around causing havoc at the moment. But it looks like they're about to be knocked down.
It's a risky charge by the French, but I think they pulled it off successfully.
Oh yeah. Does it look like the British reserves have just been wiped out there? It's just a bit. It's just stragglers at
Cut
the moment.
down quite rapidly.
Oh yeah.
French Cav are doing very well and seem to be proving very vital to this tournament.
They were a bit passive in the first round, and I think that hurt them. They needed to be a bit more aggressive because they do have the edge, and they've shown that in this round, I think.
Yeah, I've never seen the free ERC before. They're not in the competitive cap. So I didn't know what to make of them. I was going to assume they were meh, but they're not bad against infantry, I've got to say.
No, they've been very. When they've been aggressive, they run in, they cause havoc. They've picked their moment this round. They picked the exact moment when the British were at their weakest, and they struck. It was kind of nice to watch.
It's that which sums up the NWBC. That teamwork that allowed the infantry to happen.
Yes.
The cavalry charge to happen.
And that's the kind of thing you don't get in regular events.
Yeah, it is. And that's what made this event so great. Did someone really ask if light infantry were using allowed to use infantry muskets?
Yes,
Seems like an interesting question.
It's quite interesting to see suddenly how different this round has been, considering last round was really close, but the French's different tactic of the fast push with their full team has really sort of scuppered the British on that one side.
I don't even think the British were expecting it.
I can tell you another thing. The VE here use a single TeamSpeak, and I'm pretty sure they use a form of radio. The Triangle Coalition, to my knowledge, do not.
Yeah, that'll give them the edge in tactics and coordination.
You'd think that for something like this, you'd make sure that you're on the same TeamSpeak just for the event.
Yeah. Maybe.
Well,
It's hard though. It's hard for large regiments like that to move them all over to another TeamSpeak. It is
It's a bit
rather
more
difficult.
complex, as well as obviously the 65Y being led by a British leader, but then the Micolea led by, I believe, a Spanish leader, and
Yes.
the 47th, I believe, is led by
Spire's British, I think.
But it's going to be a clash of a language barrier, which is something that they're going to have to overcome if it will
There's
work well.
two different types of coalitions in this battle. In this tournament, you've got the strong, defined cooperative coalitions like the BA, the IVE, the VE.
The people who play with each other week in, week out.
Yes. And then you've got the hastily erected coalitions because it's a tournament, like the Triangle Coalition, the KKY, NR77.
That's a fair point. So if we go back to what I said earlier, saying, I think the 4 banners will have the edge, but at the same time, they're not on the same TeamSpeak. So they may not have the same tactics, which will actually put them at an advantage compared to fighting people like the BA or the VE or something like that.
Well, I think the team I'm definitely think going to do really well is probably the Hispanic Coalition. I mean, the JSC have one of the best artilleries in, around
the
as well
JS
as
artillery
cavalry, and
terrifying.
they have. It's just an insanely strong team. What they have with the 1RA division as well. They could be the ones to look out for.
It looks like
British have the advantage defensive-wise at the moment.
Yeah, they're forcing the French into a charge.
They've dug in, yeah.
And we're going to see.
You saw how that turned out last time.
Remember, lights may not fire in charge here. Watch out. The lights are in charge, so...
Well, that was a fire in charge from Husker, I think.
Slade. Now to find him, this will be fun.
He's down.
No, Efton got him.
I'm quick at this stuff.
Lots of administrative experience in this channel right now.
Yeah. Like, I've had times before where I've just fucking bombed it. It's a lot easier when there's only a small group of people left, because as long as you know what team they're on, you can quickly find the name. But when you've got a start of a game and someone's officer range and you're there for half an hour trying to find that one guy, and you find out he was killed like a minute ago.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a piss take.
It looks like the British are actually holding their own here.
Well.
It's now 7 on 9.
The French were dominating as well.
You see, Wellington just got taken down.
You got the 2 Brits
Oh,
here.
yeah, I mean, this is for the British to win as well, if they manage to hold on.
It's this clutch.
Is this a 4 on 1 here left in the 4 on 2, sorry. No, 4 on 1. And they've done it! They held off the charge, and now it's 4 on 6 with the British holding their own artillery position still.
If they can get the guns on this could work very, very well. But can they get the guns on it?
That is the question, and are they going to be able to hit them? The French are running in a column. That could be very hurty for them if they don't time this just right. Where are they on the map? I don't even...
They've got that big hills in front of them now at the minute. You can't actually see
there
the
they
other
are.
line.
Okay.
Yeah.
This would be a fantastic clutch from the British if they can hold on. And we're seeing at the moment, just looking at the scoreboard, Woven Spirit is 18-2. That's phenomenal.
Hey guys, is your stream working okay? Mine's sort of frozen.
Let's
Oh,
refresh.
why is it frozen?
It shows what good artillery can do in a battle. I mean, it's with these big chunky lines moving in force and entire teams moving in a monolith. Artillery has some great fun.
Actually, I think it's fine.
The French
Ignore me,
have now
I'm
just
being
spread
retarded.
out. Are they going to be able to charge properly here? Is this going to be the end of the match for them, or are they going to be able to make their numbers count?
It's gonna depend if they've got canister in.
Yep, it's going to tend on this canister.
This
and that's what we
artillery.
realise.
Every
It's
single
all
shot here
absolutely
counts.
devastating.
Oh, that was just what they needed.
That
They've
could've tipped it.
clutched it.
That is a decider.
Oh, that's just swung the balance.
This
And that's
changed
just-
it.
That's just turned the tables, pretty much.
They're not in charge yet. They're not in charge at all. Now they're in charge.
This is it. The French desperately need this.
Can they clutch it all? No,
It's
no.
42.
They work as a team.
They pulled it back, haven't they?
British clutchy bastard.
Oh, 4 on 3.
Don't speak too soon.
Can the Frogs hold on?
The French
Precisely.
need to work as a team, otherwise it's gonna
Well,
prove
they are.
devastating.
It's easier
Aren't
said
they?
than
That's the
done.
issue.
It's 2 on 0.
Sports. Dookie, is this also being recorded?
I think so, yes. I hope so. Oh. This is just so tense. Oh, there goes down!
There we go.
Down.
And that's it. The UK
Damn.
has won
That's
the
beautiful.
inaugural
We done.
match of the NWBC with a clutch. That was exciting viewing there. And I'd like to thank you, 25 viewers, for sticking with us through this. Fish, would you like to give some information on the next matches?
Next major match is Thursday at 8:30 p.m. That's British Standard Time, not GMT. That's against the IVE and the 2LHR, and I think that's probably going to be one of the best matches we'll see in NW. You going to be streaming that, Dookie?
I can be, yeah.
Great.
Oh, there's
We'll
some-
have it streamed
Everyone
on
appears
this.
outraged that it's best of 3.
What?
Oh, they think that there's another match, like, to make it
I know
2-1.
you stated it at the very start.
Was it best of?
It's best of 3, but I think people think that a number like in NWL, if it gets to 6-0,
Damn it.
then you can play the rest of them.